to just take inventory of how do I handle fear on a consistent basis when it's not such a large thing that, how do I handle that? And do I truly embrace faith over fear? All right, welcome to another podcast. We're talking about faith over fear.
Well, it's topical. We're in October, so Halloween's around the corner.
I've seen the shirts. It must be true. Faith over fear. No, so obviously we're just getting ready to start October, and I can't believe the year is going by so quickly. But as we progress through the year, obviously you're exposed to things. We've had a recent assassination, right, happen. I'm sure people have, like health issues or someone in their family pass away, which we had as well this past May. And so you can see the reason why a statement like this would make it onto shirts. Right. Faith over fear. And so Dana and I have been watching The Chosen. We've mentioned it a few times. And we just finished season 3, and it hit the feeding of the 5,000, as well as them Jesus walking on water, and it was a pretty powerful scene, and just recaps Peter taking his eyes off of Christ and beginning to sink, and obviously. Jesus reaches out to him and saves him from sinking, but also says, "Ye of little faith."
He's reprimanded there, yeah.
Right. And so it's difficult for us to always pass all of our daily moments through faith over fear.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those statements that it's like the live, laugh, love, or John 3:16, where we say it so much, I think it starts to lose its power and meaning.
Sure.
That we get, faith over fear. Yeah. I understand that. My brain understands that, but I don't think most of the time that it hits our heart. I hear it goes in one ear and out the other, and then we kind of move on throughout our day, because faith over fear isn't like it just happens. Like, it's a choice. You have to choose to have faith that Jesus has great things in store for you, that there is a path forward, that his will be done at the end of the day.
Right.
And sometimes I think we fight that on a couple of different levels, of whether it's like we don't think whatever we're going through is too big for God to handle, or we think, my way's better. I know what's best for me, not you, Lord. And so we run through these scenarios of, I think we understand that brain-wise of, faith over fear. I should have faith, and the Bible tells me to have faith of, the mustard seed faith, the faith that children have, and all this kind of stuff. But I often find that never reaches our heart when we hear that, because we just hear it so often.
When 9/11 took place, we've heard pastors talk about the increase in attendance at church. And then within 3 to 6 months, it backed down again.
Yeah.
And with the recent assassination of Charlie Kirk, then asked me, how long do you think it takes before this kind of fades back a little bit and people start to maybe forget or not be such a raw moment? And every moment is unique to itself, and that is going to last a while as well. But it's the saying, time heals all wounds. I think it's just normal for a human to experience something, and then enough time passes, and the storm subsides. And we've been through Katrina, and it took a while for that to dissipate.
Yeah.
For those that were closest to Charlie, this will be a very raw moment for years. Not every moment you get over in 2-3 weeks. At the masses, I was seeing a gentleman say, well, I'm going to go to church to take Charlie's seat. That is probably the absolute wrong reason that you should be going to church.
Right.
Because when that feeling changes, will you still be going to church? You should be going to church because you want to hear the Word of God, that you need a Savior. And so I hear this faith over fear, and I hope that it's not a fleeting moment of recognition of it. James 1:2-3 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance."
Yeah, I think it's one thing that we kind of ignore when it comes to hardships. I don't think we view these as like the temperance of our faith, right? I don't think we view that as this is the fire that which my faith will be hardened and the impurities would be beaten out of, right? We view it as, oh Lord, why am I going through this right now?
Sure.
And I think that we talked about that in a previous podcast about the idea of preparing for war when peacetime, right?
Sure.
That if you're only going to the Lord when there are hard times, that is not a strong faith. It's almost it's the genie in the bottle scenario of like,
Sure.
Lord, I may not be able to make my rent this month. Please, I'm praying for a breakthrough, whatever the case may be. And so if we only view or we only think about our faith in the instance of, well, as long as my life's going great, I don't really think about my faith. And then when something bad happens, like, oh, yep, we're going to fill the church to the brim with a 9/11 assassination attempt, Hurricane Katrina. I remember everybody was talking about prayers, and all the churches went down there to kind of help out and everything. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with
Absolutely not.
people being exposed to the gospel in this way and everything. But it is the longevity of, is there true transformation in those moments rather than a fleeting like, well, I've caught up in the emotion of what I saw in a TikTok video of like, oh, I should probably do that, or I should probably go to church now, and that kind of thing.
Don't make what you think is an eternal decision on an emotional moment, because there are people out there that you've probably seen or heard that maybe someone in school winds up passing away. And all the kids in their class, they just go down to the front and accept Christ. It's more than likely they're not understanding the decision they're making, or they're just caught in the rush of like, okay, I'm going to go up here too then.
Right.
And some of the things we're talking about here, hard times don't weaken true faith, they reveal it.
Right.
And you can see that out of these moments, you'd like to believe that everyone would be turning to God in prayer, seeking His will, healing, peace, that kind of thing. And last night on The Chosen, they would say, Shalom, Shalom. The first one is peace. The second one is pure peace, everlasting peace. And so, stop asking, why me, why us, why America, how did this happen? And start asking, what does God have in store for me next? What is God trying to reveal to me through this moment?
Right. Well, I think we often forget, we're in a fallen world. Bad things are going to happen consistently.
Don't be shocked by it.
Yeah. This is, assassination attempts. Shootings, stabbings, public executions,
Bombings.
dictators.
Yeah.
You pick your choice, and there's something going on somewhere in the world. And
human trafficking, people, plowing through crowds in a vehicle. The tool is irrelevant. The motive, the heart, says everything.
Right. And so, it's one of the reasons I don't watch the news very often, because that's kind of the thing of like, if you keep looking at it, it's just going to make you sadder and sadder, and you lose hope.
Or angry.
And angry, yeah. But it's one of those things that I think we have to remind ourselves, making a conscious choice of choosing faith in God over faith in the world around us, and faith in the idea that, every time you step out of your house, you're kind of taking your life into your own hands, whether that's going to the grocery mart, driving to work, or whatever. But knowing that we have faith in God, that, no matter the outcome, he still reigns, right?
Right.
Once you take your eyes off what's around you and point them towards heaven, that's when you can really have faith in, like, well, it doesn't really matter what happens around me, as long as I am glorifying him and he's in control, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and we're kind of using these big moments in life for this topic, but we often talk about in the middle of the mountain. You don't always have an assassination attempt.
Right.
Sometimes it's just our perspective of something. We're all from New Orleans, right? And so we were down there one year, and we took our in-laws down to eat at a place on Royal Street. And there are places you don't go. We locals there know, look, the French Quarter is for tourists, and so locals don't really hang out there. That's the kind of thing. But Royal Street's kind of close, but it's in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Usually you're fine. Don't look like a tourist. Don't look like you're lost. That's a big hint there. But we're sitting there and having lunch, and they had those open panel doors and a second line parade. A brass band come marching down the street playing, and I happened to ask my in-laws if you guys have been here before and seen that. And my mother-in-law's like, come down here and die? I'm like, what? I mean, she lived there for like 70 years.
Yeah.
So the fear was kind of baked in that I don't leave my block. I go in my bubble. We often talk about the bubbles. The bubble is this. And so, we have fear in many different ways. Sometimes we just learn to live with that fear. Sometimes the fear is, a lot more all of a sudden. But there's times when, we spend a fair amount of time being okay with a little bit of fear. Like, strength says, strength doesn't come from avoiding storms, but walking through them with God. And remember, perseverance produces maturity. And so before we came up here to shoot this, two friends of mine, one's in Iowa, one's in California, and they said, I see some storms heading your way. And I said, look, like any good Cajun, I have a hurricane app on my phone. I know exactly where these things are. I said, I don't see anything heading toward me, but if you're in the hurricane area, hurricane season is June to November.
Right.
It is something you cannot escape if you're going to live down in the southeast. And you learn to live with a little bit of fear.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think, every person in life. Some get better at it than others, and some cope in some unhealthy ways.
Sure.
But I think in this case, we're trying to focus on the response to that fear. What do you turn to, and how often does it take you to turn away from that?
Right.
And hopefully, when something comes through like that, you don't have to turn very far to God. Like, look, I never took my focus off of God, so I'm just going to start praying for this as well.
Right.
And so I do get the faith over fear statement. Right now, I hope that it lingers, because I do see things that pop up and go away.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about, we just had the rapture thing that was happening in September, right? And that made a lot of people freak out about that. And so, it's always going to be something.
Yeah.
And I would caution you, if you're a believer, or you think you're a believer, and the only time you ever turn to God is in these massive scenarios of assassinations, raptures coming, I would take a hard look internally and see,
Sure.
am I truly living are the fruits that I'm producing mimicking the Lord? Because we shouldn't need massive events in our lives to point us back to Christ.
No.
And that should be a warning for you if that is the case.
Right. If it's taking something monumental to get your attention to focus on God, you have bigger problems than just the thing that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
You have an eternal problem.
Yeah.
And so I would encourage anyone out there listening to this, all 4 people listening to this, to just take inventory of how do I handle fear on a consistent basis when it's not such a large thing. That how do I handle that, and do I truly embrace faith over fear?
Yeah, because it could be something as simple as you start creating kind of game plans of like, hey, whenever I start to feel anxious or fearful of the future or uncertain, I'm going to spend 20 minutes in the Bible, or I'll spend 10 minutes on my knees in my bedroom praying to the Lord.
Sure.
Something simple as that, I think, is a great tool to use, that instead of using emotions, because in those moments, emotion overrides so much. It's hard to be like, well, I don't feel like it. Like, yeah, your emotions we're human. Our emotions are so powerful sometimes that it overrides any rational thinking. So if you build in these kind of safeguards of like, okay, when I start to feel like, it's up to here, I'm flailing. I have these 3 things that I will do. I will read my Bible, I will pray, and then I will talk to my mentor or mentoree or whatever. I think those are some practical things you can kind of set up for yourself, that if you're like, hey, how do I practice faith over fear?
Sure.
I think that's a pretty good way to start.
We have quite a few resources on the website for Uncommon at uncommen.org. And one of them is Secret Wars. Another one is The Battle of the Mind.
Yeah.
I know it's catered around PTSD, but you can kind of see that there's another one called Hard Lessons. A lot of this stuff happens up here.
Yeah.
And so I married a nervous person, an anxious person. Mom is nervous about when the mail is going to arrive. Some days it's just like, oh my goodness, is it going to be here or not?
Sorry, 4:00. He's not here yet.
Yeah, right. So, I think having a plan like that is an excellent way to handle the ebbs and flows of life, because things are going to happen. There are going to be trials, Jesus said. So, since we don't have to be surprised by them anymore, let's be prepared for them.
Yeah.
So visit us at uncommen.org. You can check out our membership program. It gives you a lot more access to content, although we are heavily invested on YouVersion. We have about 80 devotions there, and then a bunch of free content on our site. But I would say it's maybe double to triple one amount of content and more in depth for members.
Yeah.
So check it out. We have a monthly membership and an annual, and 100% of that donation goes right back into the ministry.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we like to thank our sponsor, Stu for 90, for kind of coming alongside us. And if you're interested in being a sponsor, we have some resources on our website that you can check out and kind of reach out to us to kind of sponsor the podcast and the website. And we're also very thankful for all the donors that kind of give on a monthly basis, as well as our members, because they do the same thing. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to check out our partnership tab on the website, as well as just the donation tab. As we kind of wrap up the end of the year, everything kind of gets a little bit tighter around the belt buckle loops with budget and everything, but every little bit kind of helps us here keep the lights on, keep the podcast running, the content rolling. So if you're interested in that, check us out on the website, and we hope you guys enjoy this podcast.
What's up?
You're gonna be something.